Hi everybody, I'm Chris Van Hillo with the City of Tampa Visual Arts team. I'm here today to share my technique on how I'm making masks. I had shot a video on Sunday, and since that time I've kind of tweaked my system a little bit. It's kind of streamlined it. Seemed like it's made it a little bit easier for me, using less material and not using as much time. So I hope everybody enjoys the video, and let's go ahead and get started. The basic instructions for making the mask haven't changed. You're going to cut one piece of fabric 8 by 10, that's for the front. You're going to cut two pieces of fabric 7.5 by 5.5, that's for the back. So here's the front. Here are my two back pieces. You're going to cut one pipe cleaner, roughly 6 inches. If you have a pipe cleaner like this, literally fold it in half and cut it and just get 2 out, so the size really is not that important. And then you're going to take a t-shirt and you're going to cut 1-inch strips from side to side, so I mean across the waist. When you cut those strips, they're going to look like this. And then you're going to start pulling on them and they're going to curl, and it's just a wonderful thing. Okay, so here are your 1-inch strips. I'm going to move this out of the way. Here's what the completed mask looks like with the pleats. Then you have your insert in the back for your filter. So on the ironing board, I did like I did with the mask on Sunday. I took my two backs and I folded down 1 inch and I just pressed it. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. But before I sew all the way around, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay those strips in. So I'm going to take my first strip of t-shirt and I'm going to roll it toward the center here, and I'm just going to leave that little tail sticking out right there like that. Then I'm going to take my second strip and I'm going to leave a little tail laying out here like this, and then I'm just going to roll this in toward the center. Then I'm going to take right sides together with the fold going up to the middle, and I'm just going to lay that right down on top. Then I'm going to use my hair pins, or you can use regular pins, whatever you want to use, and I'm just going to secure that in place so it doesn't go anywhere. Then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. So obviously this is going to go a lot faster if you've cut all your strips and you have them ready. So there's a strip there, and I'm rolling this down toward the center because I don't want to accidentally sew over anything that I'm not supposed to be sewing over. These short strips right here were actually cut from the arms. So I had cut a bunch of long ways across the waist, and then I was getting into too much writing, so I started cutting across the arms. When there's too much writing on the t-shirt, they just don't curl up as nice. Okay, so I'm going to add a pin right here, okay, and then I'm going to put a clip right here, and this is just securing it while I get to the sewing machine. Okay, so there you have it. I've just clipped this down. I have my 4 tails coming out, and I have everything bunched up here in the middle so I don't accidentally sew over it. Let's move to the sewing machine. Here we go. Before I get started, I'm going to make sure I have bobbin thread, and I'm going to make sure I have regular thread, because nothing makes me madder than to run a beautiful seam and realize I'm out of thread. Okay, I'm going to sew all the way around this, all 4 sides. So I'm going to take that first pin out, and I'm going to use my presser foot as my seam allowance. I'm going to drop my needle down. I'm going to go ahead and do the back stitch. Good catch. Should have been a goalie. Okay. Leave your needle down so that you can pivot your fabric. Make sure you're on your fabric. I feel a tie there, so I'm sticking my finger in and I'm moving that tie out of the way. Same thing here. I'm feeling a little bit of a tie here, so I'm just going to stick my finger in there and move that tie out of the way. Pivot. I could have gone a little closer, so let me just add a couple of little turns here. Okay, trying to get as close to the edge as I can. In case this is for a man, it'll be a larger mask. I've done all 4 sides. I'm going to go ahead and do a back stitch. And I'm going to cut this out. Now I'm going to use my rotary cutter here. Thank God it was closed when I just went to catch it. And I cut this fabric a little bit too big. I'm just eyeballing this. I want to cut off those little white, the ends from my bindings, because that's just going to be bulk that's going to make it hard to roll over. So I'm just cutting, I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not using my ruler, as you can see. Just make sure you don't cut into your seam. It's no big deal. Nobody's going to see it because you're turning it over. Always close your rotary cutter when you're done. Now you're going to open this up and you're going to push all your guts through. So there you have it. There's your ties. I love, 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 love this. Hope you're getting this on the film, Chris. Okay, I'm going to turn it over, kind of flatten it out. You can pull on those ties to get those corners to come out. Okay, now this next bit's just a tiny, tiny bit tricky. If you're using fabric that's printed, like superheroes, I don't want them upside down. The other day I did some fish, they were floating upside down, and I think that's a very bad sign. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to take my pipe cleaner that I already have cut, and I'm just going to push it up in here for the nose. So as I push this up there, I'm going to grab a hold of the end, and I'm going to add a little pin. Oh good, another telemarketer. And I'm going to push that up there, and I'm going to add a pin. It's just to hold the pipe cleaner in place. Okay. And now I'm going to turn it over. I can't remember why I was doing it from the front side. There was a reason last night. Now I can't remember. I had some epiphany and now it doesn't seem important. Okay. And I'm just going to sew my pipe cleaner. Oh, I know what it is. Duh. Okay. I'm going to do my pleats and my pipe cleaners at the same time. Okay. So yesterday I was turning my pleats with my seam ripper. I'm not going to do that in this video because I don't think I'll be able to do it without cussing. But I'm just going to show you if you want. So we're going to sew this in and we're going to sew our pleats all at one time. So to do your pleats, you're just putting your fingers on either side of your fabric and you're going to fold that fabric down and pin it in place. Okay. Pin it in place. Okay, now you're going to stick your fingers underneath that pleat and you're going to pinch again. Pin it in place. And as you pin it, try to line up the sides. The difference between this and the way I was doing it Sunday is on this one you're actually going to see the edge of the pleats, but they're finished edges, so I think at this point I'd rather sew faster than worry about if they're, you know, really, really beautiful, because I still think they're really, really beautiful. Here's my third pleat. You saw I just stuck my fingers up under that second pleat, just folded it down. Now, if it doesn't want to share down here, you can take that second piece, pin, whatever you're using, take it out and realign everything. Go ahead and put another one in. And then on this side, go ahead and stick that pin in. Okay? And now I'm going to sew, 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 and this mask is done. Okay, so here we go. Sew, sew, sew your boat. Okay, no singing, Chris. Okay, drop that down. I'm going to get going. Then I'm going to start pulling these out one at a time. It's a little harder to sew into the pleat than over the pleat, but it's okay. I think I can manage. Yes, there's a little bit of bulk here, so your machine might balk at you depending on the kind of machine you have. Be careful. Do not sew your finger. Okay, and I'm just going to start rotating this thing. I picked up on that last night and that seemed to work really well. So rotate, rotate. Okay, now I'm in position. I'm going to keep my finger here because I don't want that pipe cleaner to pop out of place. The pipe cleaner is there so that people can squeeze this around their nose and make it fit a little bit tighter, okay? All right, so here we go. Okay, I'm going to turn. I could actually do one more stitch. Okay, turn and take the first one out. Whoops, that one rolled on me. I was trying to get my finger out of the way so you guys could see, and it kind of rolled on me, so that's okay. I'm not going to sweat it. Okay, here's the third one. Okay, I got to pull it because it's stuck. No big deal. Do a little back stitch. I'm going to bring your needle up. Cut your thread as close as you can. There's your mask. So you see where it jumped a little bit here? I don't think it's a big deal, okay? If you want, you can press these down on the iron. Spend a couple seconds cutting the thread off just to make it look a little nicer. And I think that went pretty fast. I'm just amazed. So if you can get everything cut, get everything ready, get your strips of cotton ready, get your pipe cleaners ready, get your fronts cut, get your backs cut, it sure makes it go a whole lot faster. Okay guys, there you have it. Here's my finished mask. If I'm feeling brave later, I'll attempt to do a video of me with my seam ripper and you're literally turning those pleats as you're sewing. It's pretty cool, but it's pretty intimidating too, so I don't want to scare anybody off. So here's our little mask. Hope when this is all over, you guys come visit me at Taylor Art Studio. Let's have a huge party. Okay, start sewing. Thank you for watching. Good luck.